Welcome back to the Nikki Clarke Radio Show on wearehotline.net, and we are so excited to be back again with another transformational story. The people who come on the show are people in the community who are making changes to the world. The show is about conversations that matter, transforming lives one story at a time. And we have another incredible soul on the line. She is the founder of One Woman. Please welcome Sharla Brown. How are you doing today, Sharla?
I'm great. How are you, Nikki?
Very good, thank you. Thank you so much for your time today. I know you're very busy, so we really appreciate your having time to stop and share.
Yeah, well, I appreciate this interview and the opportunity to share with you and your listeners.
Fantastic. So let's get to know more about you, Sharla. Tell me about your background leading up to creating One Woman.
Yeah, so it's been quite the journey. I've been a woman in business for the past 18, 19 years now, always been passionate about entrepreneurship and very passionate about helping women start businesses. I've always been a connector in life, so loved connecting people in all different facets of life. And it was through another company that I run called Keynote Events that I had kind of volunteered my time to plan an event that was geared towards students, so high school students, and it was kind of like a mini We Day. So if you're familiar with We Day, which, is in Toronto, or, it happens all across Canada and the U.S. and even internationally now, but we had Craig and Mark Kielberger that spoke at those events, and it really opened my eyes to kind of the world and all the social injustice issues that are happening out there, and we covered lots of different topics regarding social injustice, whether it be racism or homelessness or even bullying and things like that. So I had the opportunity to then go to Ecuador in 2015 with Nita Wee on one of their trips, and I worked with women in the Amazon rainforest. So it was really a unique experience, and what we were building was a women's empowerment center, which was right up my alley. It really aligned with my values, and even with my other businesses, it's always been very important to me to make a difference and to be able to give back, because I just feel like I've been so blessed in my life, and that's just always been a big calling on my heart. So I worked with these women in the Amazon rainforest, and I absolutely had a wonderful, 10 days there. And I just kind of had an epiphany one night where I just felt like, it was almost like a God calling on my heart to this was beyond helping for 10 days. Sure, I could, roll up my sleeves and, dig some big holes in the ground for, building a foundation and start getting this project running for these women in this village, or I could make an impact that would help women around the world. Mm-hmm. And I just felt like those are the gifts that God has given me. And I came home and I started building One Woman, basically from the ground up, just like I was doing there. So it's taken me to all kinds of places in the last year. I had the opportunity then to work with women in Kenya and the Masai Mara, and then I went on to work in India, helping women start little goat businesses and things like that. So it's been quite the journey these past couple of years.
I can imagine. So you started when? What year exactly was that?
Yeah, so this company started in 2015 that I started building it, but I actually wound up launching it when I was in India last May. So we launched the Facebook page from nothing. My roommate, who is from the United States, who was sharing a room with me, we went to a women's conference in India as well. And I had launched this page. She invited her friends. I invited my friends, and just kind of got the ball rolling. And it's not even been a year yet, and there's over 130,000 women now connected from around the world on that page. So, everything's kind of really fallen into place for it. So the whole idea behind the project is to connect women around the world. So whether it's women in business or professional women, in terms of a networking opportunity and just to connect like-minded women that want to use their gifts to best serve in this world. And I really want to work on creating some amazing events that bring women together. So one of the first things that I'm doing is a trip to Bali, Indonesia this November. I've connected with a local women's charity there that helps women gain employment skills in the tourism industry, because of course Bali is very touristy, but there's a huge poverty issue there for women, and things like sex trafficking and human trafficking is huge in countries like Indonesia, and wind up being lots of times the future of many women in that country and various countries around the world. So I want to partner with charities in each country that help women be able to break that cycle of poverty for themselves and their family. Because what I've learned from working from women, whether it be, in a major city in North America or in the, rural areas of, the Amazon rainforest, or in Africa or in India, is that all women have those same goals, is to have a better life for themselves, a better life for their family, and a better life for the community around them. So, a woman isn't different anywhere really in this world. As much as there's cultural differences, we are all connected in our hearts. And, laughter is the same language in every country, and tears are the same language in every country. And, so I'm really excited for the Bali project, definitely in November. So it's a combination of doing women's empowerment trips around the country, and then also creating some great events in various cities. So right now I'm working on 12 events across Canada from coast to coast, uniting women together in those, and uniting women together in those cities, and really highlighting women in those cities. So giving an opportunity for women to be able to speak, to share their stories, to share their lessons that they've learned, whether it's sharing, business tips or skills or, things that they've managed to master in terms of, balancing, maybe a family life with a career and things like that we all have, gifts to share. So, and a lot of women struggle with having that platform to be able to share. In my other company, I work with a lot of famous speakers and put on a lot of events with various stars and authors and things like that. And women often ask me, how do I get to that level? How did she do it? And lots of times it's being able to build that portfolio and being able to have a stage to highlight your gifts. And that's what I want to create, is for women who are wanting to be able to build that and to be able to share their story and share with what they do, and be able to share those gifts with the world, is a platform to be able to do that. So I'm super stoked about those events coming up. So I'm definitely, juggling a lot right now, but it's been fun so far, and I'm excited for the year ahead.
Yeah, well, I can hear the passion in your voice. I can hear the excitement, and I know that when you follow a passion, it gives you the energy. It gives you the momentum that you need to keep going. It keeps you enduring in whatever comes your way, whether it be trials or triumphs along the way. You're still motivated. But I have to ask you this question. There are women who are in need all over the world, as you mentioned, and it's a wonderful thing that you're doing to create this platform to uplift women, because women are the heart of every community. And when you nurture a woman, you're nurturing a community. But I have to say, the women in Toronto, because I work in the inner city with women, they have the same needs as women internationally. And very often they're overlooked because we live in a rich city. We live in a rich society, and we don't realize that 1 out of 6 children in certain areas of Toronto can't afford to go to McDonald's. They're on the same type of level of poverty and lack like some of the women internationally. What would you say about that?
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right. I mean, even where I live here in Thunder Bay, there's a lot of amazing programs that are geared to help women here, and there's still a struggle. And for us, it's a lot of Indigenous women who live in Thunder Bay or live in northern communities. And there's northern communities here that are very much like third world countries, where there is no access to clean, fresh drinking water. I mean, it's absolutely disturbing.
It's amazing.
But it's not, as much as the programs are global, that includes Canada and the U.S. and developed countries as well, because we all have issues. There's nobody who's not being included here. So the goal behind the events across Canada is also to partner with a women's charity in each city. So they'll be connected with each event as well as a fundraising kind of opportunity for them to raise some funds that'll help women. I believe in programs that help women to help themselves. So it's the whole idea behind give somebody a fish, you feed them for a day, teach someone to fish, and you feed them for a lifetime. So those are the kind of charities that I look for to partner to, because I think it's really important to do that. So, and the other thing is also how to inspire women to help and get involved. So there's a lot of women who's out there who says, I'd really like to help. Even when I put this one woman out there, how can I help? How can I be involved? I really want to help women, but what's the best way that I can possibly do that? And just showing what's available that's out there right in your own community. It doesn't have to be across the world, and what's right for me doesn't mean that it's not. It could be something totally different for someone else. It's what calls on your heart to make a difference. And it doesn't need to be a women's charity. Maybe it's working with children. Maybe it's something that helps the environment. Whatever it is that really pulls on your heart to make the world a better place, this is kind of going to be creating a platform to inspire women and give women ideas and be able to share what you're doing, because there's a lot of women, I'm sure, that's out there just like me who has a cause that they're working towards, and they're trying to build that tribe of people who also say, yes, that there's something not right about that, and I want to help do something about it.
Absolutely. Just how you alluded to earlier that God planted this in your heart. He deposited these values and the need to propel this mission. That's the same way he's touching others to follow suit. So the question I have before we close today is, how has your life been transformed by starting this?
You know what? It's taken a whole different direction. I lived a very safe life working for the federal government for almost 20 years. And I think that's the way most of the world lives, is lots of times you look for that safety and comfort, or even what society says is what you should do, or what is you're supposed to do. But your heart is often telling you something different, there's got to be something more to this. And that's why those events that I'm planning are called Fearless. And because that's lots of times what keeps us stuck is our fear of the unknown. What if I fail? What if this doesn't turn out? What if I leave this comfort or this job? How am I going to manage? And being able to trust, because I'm a big believer that you either live in faith or you live in fear. And how do you overcome those fears to live the best possible life that you can? And sometimes that's just taking baby steps, or what is that next right step to propel you in the direction that you truly want to go. So, I would say, that's kind of been it for me, is that it's just been completely transformational in terms of, there was a day that, I looked in the mirror and said, everything that I want is on the other side of fear, and I just had to make a decision that I wasn't going to be scared anymore, and that God's made a way. Sometimes I watch Him put the pieces of the puzzle together for me right in front of my eyes, that has led to the success that I've been able to do. I know that I don't do this alone, that I've had lots of support and guidance along the way, a lot of amazing friends and people who've came into my life, and I wake up every day and I'm excited about my life, and I want that for every woman in this world.
Fantastic. It's about going over the wall of fear and facing
Absolutely.
the wonderful part of what is on the other side. That is amazing. Sharla, how can people connect with you to get involved, to know more about your project, to donate, to volunteer their time?
Yeah, absolutely. So the website is onewoman.ca. And all the information is on there. The events across Canada are not up yet, but they will be up probably in the next couple of weeks. I'll be looking for speakers across the country. So if women want that platform to be able to share, whether it's in their own city or another city in Canada, there's going to be lots of opportunity there, as well as the Facebook page. So it's Facebook.com/onewoman, and so you can join there. And like I said, there's over 130,000 women now connected over the world, so it's a great place to kind of connect and see what's going on and all the opportunities, because like I said, we have some really amazing international trips coming up as well.
Well, if you ever need a host nation in Jamaica, let me know. We'd love to have you there and work with the women in Jamaica who would love to meet you and to be blessed with your guidance. So we've really enjoyed your time with us here on the Nikki Clarke Radio Show. I'm sure the listeners have learned so much and have been uplifted with your message. And if you just tuned in now to the interview with Sharla Brown, the founder of iWoman, you don't have to worry. We're going to be replaying the interview throughout the week, Monday to Friday, from 11 a.m. to noon. So we're here on the Nikki Clarke Radio Show with our very special guest, Sharla Brown. Sharla, thank you very much for your time. I'm really excited to meet you face-to-face and have you on the live show in front of a live audience. And I just know that they're going to be so inspired by what you're doing.
Well, thank you, Nikki, for this opportunity today.
Oh, you're very welcome. Have a blessed day. I'll talk soon.
You too. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.